My intention in creating this project was to have a performance piece that would have the same wonderful drama, the same wonderful music, the same edge-of-your-seat quality as some of, the greatest of works, but where the narrative would be driven by science.
And also not just about the scientific thing, Greek tragedies are amazing, amazing old texts. I remember kind of getting into them at one point. And even just to make the kids look back at those old Greek tragedies as well is a beautiful thing.
I've known Philip Glass for a long time, and the part of his music that really just made it so clear to me that he would be great for this project is, this is a boy whose heart is pounding, who's going out in space, who's going to explore a black hole. And I could just sort of hear, roughly in my mind, Philip Glass's music just pounding and driving and pushing this forward.
The place where the science and the music really comes together was when the father looks and he can see that his son is slowing down and slowing down. Basically, the funny thing is that it's actually going ahead in time, but what that means is that his sense of time is slow compared to his father's time.
And there were a lot of ideas that we kicked around early on about how to do that. Do you have two different tempos of music playing off of each other? Do you have one that doesn't change and the other changes? How do you actually represent the slowing of time musically?
It was important. This is Brian's, it's really his dream. It's his dream that we're sharing with him. We had to honor the integrity of that dream, and that meant that it had to work in the world of science too, and he was satisfied that it did.
The emotional center of the piece is the transformation of a boy who is very young and precocious and bursting with a desire to explore the wider universe, but is being tamped down by the environment in which he finds himself. And he goes through this transformation where he does reach this goal. He does find that he's able to explore a much bigger universe than he thought he had access to, but it's at a very, very high cost.
He ends up in another world 10,000 years in the future. And so there's this great celebration, there's this great moment where he has made history, but then also there's this great desolation.
And the cost is he loses his reality, he loses his father, he loses everything that he knew. But nevertheless, this boy is able to cope with that fantastic loss and ultimately look forward to the future.
I think the story is about us all encountering the wonder of the universe and finding the charm within ourselves to keep on asking the big questions about what is our place in the world and where did the universe come from and where is it going to.
I hope kids see this and leave with a renewed sense of how science is a wonderful story of adventure, how science is something that can really transport you from the everyday to the exotic, from the everyday to the wondrous, because that's really what happens to the character in the story. And if kids go along for the ride with the character, they will go on a spectacular journey. A journey of discovery, a journey that is painful, but a journey that ultimately transforms the reality that they're part of. And that's a transformation I hope kids go through.